In December 1980, Jean-Claude "Baby Doc" Duvalier married Michelle Bennett in a ceremony costing $2 million, equivalent to $7 million today. Champagne flowed as guests received diamond-encrusted party favors. Meanwhile, just miles away, Haitians starved in slums where the average daily wage was less than $3. This wasn't just a lavish wedding, it was a public display of the most systematic looting of a national treasury in modern history, a kleptocracy so brazen that even the IMF and World Bank couldn't ignore it, though they continued funding it. This video exposes how Jean-Claude Duvalier transformed Haiti's economy into his ATM while implementing policies that deliberately impoverished the Haitian people. Understanding this systematic extraction helps explain why Haiti, once the wealthiest colony in the Americas, remains trapped in poverty despite billions in international aid. Historical context. When Jean-Claude inherited power in 1971, Haiti was already economically devastated by his father's repressive rule. Unlike Francois, who prioritized political control over economic development, Baby Doc and his advisors recognized that international aid could become a lucrative revenue stream. They crafted a clever strategy: project an image of modernization and economic reform to attract foreign investment and aid, then systematically divert these resources to private accounts. This approach paired perfectly with U.S. Cold War policy, which prioritized stable anti-communist regimes over good governance. The result was a golden age for the Duvalier family fortune and a disaster for the Haitian people, who watched their nation's wealth disappear into offshore accounts, while foreign development experts praised Haiti's economic progress. The systematic treasury looting. Jean-Claude's regime institutionalized corruption on an unprecedented scale. He created fictitious government agencies, like the National Security Volunteers, whose primary purpose was to transfer public funds into private hands. Government revenue, including taxes, port duties, and the tobacco monopoly, flowed directly to accounts controlled by the Duvalier family. The most brazen example came in 1980, when Haiti received a $22 million loan from the International Monetary Fund. Within weeks, $16 million, nearly 73% of the total, had been diverted to private accounts controlled by Duvalier associates. This wasn't exceptional but standard practice. Throughout his 15-year rule, an estimated 80% of Haiti's foreign aid, hundreds of millions of dollars, was systematically stolen. The personal excesses. While Haitians faced malnutrition and lacked basic health care, the Duvalier family lived in almost unimaginable luxury. Jean-Claude's excesses became legendary: a collection of luxury cars including Ferraris and Maseratis, shopping sprees in Paris and New York where he spent millions on art and jewelry, private jets for weekend trips. His 1980 wedding to Michelle Bennett represented this excess in its purest form: a $2 million spectacle where guests received gifts worth more than the average Haitian's lifetime earnings. Bennett, from a wealthy family that had enriched itself under Francois Duvalier, brought even greater sophistication to the looting operation, using her business connections to create new extraction mechanisms disguised as development initiatives. The sweatshop economy. Beyond direct theft, Baby Doc's economic policy deliberately impoverished Haitians through structural changes designed to benefit foreign corporations and local elites. His administration aggressively promoted Haiti as having the cheapest labor in the Western Hemisphere, actively encouraging multinational corporations to establish assembly plants using Haitian workers paid starvation wages. This development strategy was championed by USAID and international financial institutions as creating jobs, but the reality was far darker. Workers in these factories earned as little as $1.60 per day, insufficient to feed a family, while facing brutal anti-union repression if they organized for better conditions. Meanwhile, these operations received generous tax exemptions, ensuring minimal benefit to Haiti's public finances. This model deliberately created urban slums as rural farmers, unable to compete with subsidized U.S. food imports, another Duvalier policy. migrated to Port-au-Prince seeking factory work, only to find wages that couldn't support their families. The rural abandonment. Perhaps the most devastating economic legacy of the Jean-Claude era was the systematic destruction of Haiti's agricultural capacity. Historically, Haiti had been largely self-sufficient in food production despite environmental challenges. Under Baby Doc, agricultural investment virtually disappeared as resources concentrated in urban export processing zones. Simultaneously, his government agreed to slash tariffs on imported food, particularly American rice, decimating local farmers who couldn't compete with subsidized foreign products. This deliberate policy transformed Haiti from a country that fed itself into one dependent on food imports, creating permanent food insecurity that continues today. The resulting rural collapse accelerated migration to overcrowded urban areas, creating the densely populated, underserved slums that remain characteristic of Port-au-Prince. The international complicity. Throughout this systematic plunder, international financial institutions and foreign governments not only continued supporting the regime, but often praised its economic management. The World Bank funded projects despite clear evidence of fund diversion. USAID promoted the assembly plant model as a successful development despite its failure to reduce poverty. The U.S. government maintained support even as corruption became undeniable. This complicity reveals a disturbing truth. International actors prioritized Haiti's role as a source of cheap labor and a reliable anti-communist vote over the well-being of its people. When they finally withdrew support in the 1980s, it was because Duvalier had become a liability, not because they objected to his economic policies. Present-day impact. Jean-Claude's economic legacy continues to shape Haiti's reality today. The offshore accounts holding billions in stolen Haitian wealth remain largely untouched, despite decades of legal efforts to recover these funds. The sweatshop model established under his rule continues as the primary development strategy promoted by international institutions. Most devastatingly, the destruction of agricultural self-sufficiency created permanent food insecurity that makes Haiti vulnerable to price shocks and natural disasters. When we see images of Haitian poverty today, we're not witnessing the result of Haitian incapacity, but the deliberate outcome of policies designed to extract wealth rather than create it. The current economic challenges facing Haiti aren't separate from Duvalier's legacy. They're its direct continuation through structures that remain largely intact. The story of Baby Doc's economic plunder challenges us to recognize a crucial truth. Haiti's poverty isn't natural or inevitable, but manufactured through deliberate policies benefiting a small elite at the expense of the majority. This understanding transforms how we see both Haiti's challenges and potential solutions. True development isn't about attracting more sweatshops or increasing aid that can be diverted. It requires dismantling the extraction systems established during the Duvalier era and creating economic structures that serve the Haitian people. The diaspora must recognize these continuities to avoid supporting superficial solutions that maintain the fundamental exploitation model. Our liberation requires not just political change, but economic transformation that finally breaks the cycle of extraction established during Baby Doc's rule. If this hidden history moved you, share this video to help others understand the true roots of Haiti's economic challenges. Like, subscribe, and check the link in our bio for resources on supporting Haitian-led economic initiatives that prioritize local needs over foreign interests. The wealth stolen from Haiti during the Duvalier years continues circulating in global financial systems, wealth that rightfully belongs to the Haitian people. By spreading knowledge about this systematic theft, we take the first step toward accountability and restitution. Together, we can work toward an economic model for Haiti that finally prioritizes the well-being of its citizens over the enrichment of domestic and foreign elites.